everybody, and welcome to a video. I have found a little secret area in RPG Maker. Timestamp will pop up below, and I hope you enjoy the mystery as much as I did finding it. Time for the best part of my day. What minigame should I play today? Hey everybody, and welcome to another video. Today I decided to go through and show you how to make a little water jumping maze. Now, it's not really a jumping maze in the sense that the player actually makes the character jump, but the character does jump. Now, you'll see on the screen now, start number 1. This event, I had to restart 3 times because it got too long and convoluted that I physically couldn't make it work anymore. I'm really happy with how much I cleaned it up for the final event, and I did just copy paste like all the move routes and everything, but still, it was a freaking lot. So here's me starting the first move route, which just has the player move through everything. I've decided to, in future videos, that if you really want to see all of this, please let me know in the comments and I will create a separate video that's just showing my process. I'll put on some music, I'll do a little chit chat, and then we can just chill and work on our games together. But I just decided for these minigame videos in the future, I'm just going to go and walk through the event, what I did, how it works, show it working, and any variations you could do with it to make it a lot less long, and so you don't have to skip ahead, and it just makes it easier on everyone because I also don't have to go through and talk through all of this. Because at the end of this too, and I will remember, hopefully, future me, editor me, remember, put this in the thingy, to a timestamp to jump to where I'm actually explaining it. I'm also, little side note, talking about if you want to change the event up, because this is me having the character jump back to where they made the choice from, or if they're being chased, it's just saying you would have to change how this event works. And if you'd like to see that and have me work through it, please leave the comment below, and I will try my hardest to get around to it. Where was I? I was talking about future videos, yes. And so I will still have some recordings like this, and I'll still do my speed mapping and everything, but I just figured I'd make it easier on y'all to figure out how to do these events, because I know when I go to watch videos like this on how to do things, I always jump straight to the point. Like, I have, in that, what I was just talking about, I have it set so the player teleports back to where they were, and I have an event capturing the X, Y, and map ID of the player to teleport them back to that same spot on the same map. I learned that through Echo and watching one of her tips and trick videos. And so even every time I forget, I'll pop back and I'll watch that same video. And it's just nice. It's very precise, shows you exactly what it needs to do, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to try and capture that going forward in my own videos. Let's see. Oh yes, if my voice sounds a little different, I got a new microphone. Well, not necessarily a new microphone, it's new to me. But I'm still setting it up and figuring out how everything works with it, so if my voice sounds a little bit wonky or a little bit different, that's why. Please have some patience with me. Everything's better than what it used to be. I recently went back and listened to some of my old videos, and I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was that bad. But yeah. This has been me rambling on for like almost 5 minutes now. I am running out of things to say. I don't have a very interesting life. Let's see, something interesting that happened. Wow, my life is boring. Oh, I started working on my game again, and I had done this little proof of concept cutscene thing when I was working on making cutscenes and figuring out how to get all the characters to move in RPG Maker and stuff like that, and I absolutely adored the concept. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to include this in my game, and I hadn't quite figured out how to do it yet, but I got it nailed down and I love it. I haven't done any of the sprites, so they're all placeholders and they're kind of goofy looking. But oh boy, is it turning out amazing. And I am so excited to figure out where to put it in the game because it's like a flashback scene. And I always really struggle because it reveals a lot of the lore and the plot. And so I'm trying to figure out, do I want to put this in the middle and exclude names and have everyone figure it out before it's actually confirmed? Kind of like the Stan Pines as a twin from Gravity Falls. Everybody knew it, but it was still satisfying to see Ford appear from the portal. Ooh, that's something I can talk about. The whole twin thing is kind of a trope at this point. But, ooh, back onto Trope Talks. Here it is. My little hidden map area I found. Y'all made it. Woo! So I believe this is just the map where they store all of the boats and ships and everything before you call them, like, because you'll have to do set starting position for blah 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 here. So I think this is the map where they store these things, but it's an infinite map. No matter what direction you go, it always brings you back here. And I just found that really cool. And trust me, I tried all directions, and I don't have any plugins aside from camera control on this save file. So that was me trying to go diagonal. It's really dorky looking, but yeah, no matter what direction you go, you always wind up back in the middle. And I don't know, I'd just never seen it before, and you can't access it to edit it at all, so I just thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, that's it. That's the big mystery map. The way I got to it is I had accidentally hit player X and player X, so it wasn't saving the right variables. So when it went to teleport to that variable, there was nothing in that variable. It just didn't exist. So, this is me realizing my mistake. But so it would just send the player to that random variable, and that random variable happened to be that map. I also think it's where the player is stored before you start No, that's a lie. Because the player always starts with a blank grass map, yeah. Ignore that last bit. But yeah, that's me realizing, I had it set Y set to player X, and so that's what was really screwing it up. So yeah, that's the secret. Anyways, back onto the talk of plot holes and tropes. I had an English teacher in high school who hated overused tropes and what's the word? Why am I blanking on the word? Hold on, I'm googling this. Y'all are probably yelling the word at me right now. Not stereotypes. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Cliches. Yes, thank you, Google. Okay, cliches is the word I was looking for. And they're not a bad thing. Like, he absolutely hated them, and if we used them in any of our writing, he's just like, no, fix it. You're more than creative than that. And I get it now. Like, I understand what he was trying to do. He's trying to say, you are learning to write. You need to figure out your own style instead of relying on these well tried and true cliches. And some cliches are totally overused. There is a reason that Hallmark movies are kind of made fun of, but every Christmas I sit down and I watch them. I know where it's going. I know how it's going to end, but it still makes me happy. And the back to the Gravity Falls example, we all knew Stan was going to have a secret brother or secret something. It had been so strongly hinted at. We'd picked up the clues, and yet it was still so satisfying to see Ford come out of that portal. And stuff like that doesn't necessarily mean that the cliches are bad, you know? Yeah, he is my favorite teacher I have ever had of all time. Uh, he was amazing. And when I got into college, I'm a writing major. And I had all those writing classes. I was just like, okay, this is easy. Like, why am I here? I know I need to take this class to get my degree, but like, why am I here? My high school teacher already went over all this with me and taught me all this. And something I've always been really good at is bending my writing style to fit whatever the teacher wanted. And that sucks for me now, because when I go to write, I'll be like, okay, what's my style? I've never really explored that and found that. And recently I've been working on a book and trying to kind of find it, but you know, it's a work in progress. Sorry, long day. Oh, I guess something interesting in my life. I recently had a ladybug infestation, which, you know, out of all the insects to have an infestation of, ladybugs are not the worst, but I am currently watching them crawl all over the top of my window. There were 38 that I removed from my room by scooping them into a jar and transferring them outside. It's still pretty cold here where I live, but it got warm for a couple days, and I think there was a hatching, and that's why they're all flocking indoors, because the back door was accidentally left open. But, you know, I don't mind the few that are left. They're the smart ones that hid in the corner of my window when I tried to get them, and I couldn't get them out without possibly hurting or smashing them, and I didn't want to do that. Ladybugs are harmless. So, yeah, they just exist with me now. They're my friends. Woogie, woogie, woogie. Yeah. Let's see what to ramble on about for a few more minutes. Um, Want to hear some pet peeves? So, I'm a I like to think I'm a pretty good driver. First time I drove my car, well, it was my mom's car. Okay, this is my first time ever being in her car. And before that point, I'd been driving a years old gas guzzler 4Runner. And that thing, you had to floor it to get anywhere. Like, to even move the car, pedal was to the metal. Then I get in my mom's Subaru, and I floor it, because that's what I'm used to, and I almost shoot us into a ditch. Luckily, I had enough presence of mind to flip over and slam on the brakes. But yeah, and ever since that moment, both my little sister and my mom have insisted and hung it over my head like, oh, you're not a good driver, this is what you do. And my mom's teasing, my sister's probably teasing, she might be a little bit serious. But other than that, I like to think I'm a good driver. And anyways, on the way home from my job, there's this person, and we're on a back country road, and he's going 45. And I'm like, next straight stretch, it's clear, I'm passing. And it's clear, it's beautiful, I go to pass him, and he floors it. And I'm just kind of like, you don't test me. And so I also floor it. And I get around him. But it's like, why? You were going 45 in a 55 zone. And I go to pass you, and then you floor it. Why? That is like, stupid people are one of my biggest pet peeves. Which sounds really conceited and stuck up. But don't be a stupid driver. Like, even if you don't agree with the person passing you, just let them go. You don't want to drive near them if you think they're being stupid. Just let them go. It's not gonna hurt you. I'd also been angry because someone on a merge didn't want to let me in and cut me off. And I had a little bit of road rage going on, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, leave your driving pet peeves down below. I'm sure you'd love to rant about them. I know I do. Yeah. So this is me working on the final start of the game. Back to RPG Maker. I know I went on a tangent there. And yeah, this is the final one. And this is me getting all the movers right and adding in the ability to backtrack. Because in all the other tries, I had it so they could only move forward, but that didn't make sense because there are areas where you could move backwards. So I'm going through, moving all the tests, adding ways to move back. Obviously, it's not working the best. My jump labels were a little confused. I had some weird erase events going on. I had to close out and reopen just to make sure it worked. Gotta peep at my OBS there for a sec. This is me copy and pasting stuff onto a new page. I eventually condensed this all into one page, but yeah, I go through this more thoroughly at the end, so, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't, without rambling on about more stuff that doesn't fully matter, I have a question for y'all. So, a while back, there was this major sale going on for RPG Maker, and it was like, get all the old systems for this really cheap price. And I was like, bet. So I got them all, and I have them all on Steam. So that means I have the rights to all their music and tile sets to use in other RPG Maker games. And I've been going through, and I absolutely adore the RPG Maker XP tile sets. Like, I love the colors, they're so soft, so pretty, and some lovely person on the forums decided to size everything up for MZ and MB. And I was just like, yes! So I have been using and abusing that in my game, along with stuff that I've made that kind of fits the color palette. But I want your guys' opinions. Like, what do you think about the RTPs from all RPG Maker pasts and present? Do you like them? Do you like using, like, personally, I think MZ, it's a little oversaturated and it's not to my taste. But I've heard other people who absolutely adore the style, so I'm, like, curious. What type of tile sets are your favorite? Do you like the ones that are more pixely, the ones that are really basic, the ones that tend towards realism? Like, what do y'all like? I really want to know. As I said, XP is my favorite. XP is my favorite. I cannot talk, but what do you guys like? I'm curious, you know? Let me know your preferences. Yeah, a lot of this is just me setting the move routes. That's what took the longest with this, once I figured out how I wanted to do it. This is me doing the done event, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I have it sped up, so it's hard to tell. And I am recording this sound for this. I think, like, oh goodness, I think it's been like 2 weeks since no, it's only been like a week since I made this. So, I'm learning just as you guys are what I'm working on. And then I had to delete, too, the extra choice, because that wasn't really a choice. There was no choice there. You just kept moving. But, yeah. I don't know why I popped into OBS right there. Who knows? Who knows with me? I swear this will be a lot less chaotic in the future. I got the new microphone, finally. And so I needed to record this, and I'm kind of do it in speed run, and yeah, here we are. My outro and intro are stuck in my head. I guess that's how you know they're catchy, but the do 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 Um, let's sit in silence together and watch the screen. That's my mom's biggest complaint when I'm on the phone with her. She's just like, you sit there and you breathe at me. My dad does it too. I'm a lot like him. Yeah, I honestly, I'm out of things to say. I explain this in detail coming up real soon, I think. Hold on. Click in the mouse. I don't know what. Oh, wait. Is this. Yes, okay. So, coming up in a couple minutes, I have taken screenshots of everything that I've done, and I have them, and so you can pause, look exactly what I'm doing when I don't have the computer going 100 miles an hour. It's really nice, it's really easy. And yeah, so you can look at those, and all the events are set up the exact same way. There's just a bunch of them, and they loop into each other. So I didn't take screenshots of, ow, I just broke my nail. Didn't take screenshots of everything, but it's just the simple stuff, and when that pops up, I'll shut up so you don't have to go and hear me talking through everyone and pause. But yeah, after that, I'll add in the clip of me going through and showing how everything works. And that'll be everything. So that's coming up in a couple of seconds. So I'm gonna shut up and let you peruse. Hey everybody, it's Caleb, and welcome back to me walking us through another one of my mini games. This time, it's a jump puzzle maze thing. Though, it's a little more automated than what most of them may be. I think the idea is all there. So first, it may look like there are a lot of events on this page. There really aren't. These are just blank. They're all the different places where the player gets to make a choice about which direction they can go, and I needed to mark those so I could remember them, because this event gets really long and complicated. So here, let me just run you through the finished product first. Well, not the finished, full thing. Oh. You know what I forgot to do? There we go. Alright, sorry about that. I really need to turn off the sound. Okay, so it's not an auto run or anything, it's just player touch. Boom. To begin the maze? No, it backs off. You can do it again. The importance of having the player take a step backwards to start the means that they can automatically run back up and start the event without having to back up and then go again. It just makes it simpler. So begin maze, they run back to good leap, and then you have a choice. You can go any of these directions. Let's start by going down. Player jumps and make it. Oh, that one was too far away. They didn't make it. They reset back at the place they made the choice from. In this, you could do it your own way. You could have any option. Here, you could have them. They have to start the maze all over again. They have to backtrack. Anything you want to do. If you have someone chasing them through this maze, you would have to add a whole nother loop player touch event. But yes, so and if you go the right way, which in this case is right, you just keep going through the maze. And this maze does have multiple ways to get to the end, because that's just how I like to do it. But yeah, that's the basics of seeing in action. Now let me show you how I did that. We have the begin maze option, yes, no. No, one step backwards. When you click yes, it sends you to your first choice. Now I could have done this all on the first plugin page, but I found it was easiest for all the mechanics and everything to just control self switch, which is just this one right here, to bring you to the next page. Now the biggest important part of this entire thing is labels. I had never really used labels up to this point. I'd just been looping and breaking looping, and I tried that so many times with this event, and it just wasn't working. So I figured out how to use labels. And this choice is just choice 1. And in order to repeat that, you just jump to label, and it brings you back up to the beginning of this event. Now, I have a common event playing right now, which, seen any of my other mini games, you know what this is. And it just gets all these variables to tell you exactly where the player is. And so if they fail, this is to teleport them back to where they started from. So you do that, and then it asks you which way you would like to go. Now this, especially if you do a repeat of what I did here, it's very individualized because this is a failed one, mind you. This is if you fail right here. So I'm jump and make it, and then for sake, I kind of did a Legend of Zelda thing. You jump in the water, an animation plays, and you teleport back to where they were, which is this one. Which you just do transfer player instead of direct designation. You just go with the variables that were saved by this event up here. And I do turn the transparent on and then transfer them because it makes it look like they fell into the water instead of just floating on top of it. And then if you fail, you jump back up to the top and do that choice again. This right here, the right one, is the correct answer. So you just go through all it, and I don't have the option right here. There is no jump to label 1. So it just keeps moving down the event, and this is a choice branch with all these different options. So when you select a choice, it only plays what is specifically under that one. Otherwise, it completely ignores the other one. See, that's another one failed, jump to label 1. This one is a little different because it's backtracking. So you would go back to the beginning of the event, and I have it jumping to the label start over, which is, I don't think I actually have that label in. It ends. The event ends. Now for this one is where it starts to get a little complicated. First, I save where they're at because they're at choice 2, which is right here. Choice 2. You can go this way, or this way. Now see, if you go this way, here, hold on, let me. It's just got changes. If you go this way, you end up at choice 5, and if you go this way, you end up at choice 3. So this is where the importance of the labels come in. Scrolling back down to it. Scroll too far. Oh no. Yes, okay, here's choice 2 again. So if you go up, it just moves you on to choice 3. But if you move right, it jumps you to choice 5. So the jump label doesn't always move you up. It can sometimes move you down. See? Let's move all the way down to choice 5, 3, 4, and 5. It would jump you all the way down to choice 5, where it would then give you the options for 5. And I have this, it jumps all around. You can go back to choice 2, go to choice 4, yada, yada, yada. And it does that. Here's this. This is the start over label. There, the tippity top, it brings you all the way down here, and it just turns everything off. Now, this is the complete label. Let me see if I can find. Can you control F? No, you can't. RPG Maker, make that a thing so you can control F when you have a ridiculously long. Here it is. Okay. So the only place you finish is down here. So when you're at choice, I believe this is 4. When you're at choice 4, that's the only place you can finish. I just made it easier on myself. Now that, yeah, it keeps you right there. Thank you for saving that. So it has a player. Go through the motions. And I did add a wait in between every jump because I didn't like how fast it looked. If it wasn't there, that is completely a personal choice. You could just have them jump. Yeah. I have it on Y+2. And then when they reach the end, it plays a heart. It plays. I have no idea how loud that's going to record, so if that was really loud, I will tone it down, I swear. But yeah, there's that, and then it turns the switch on, changes player followers to on. I did turn that off because I figured it was a bit wonky with more than one person jumping around. First, I had it gather the followers though, so they're not just off standing in the water, and it turns back on, and then it brings you down here where it controls complete, and if done is on, it controls self beam. So this is like this, so if you reach the bottom with like start over, it won't do the final event, it'll just end it. So it doesn't matter that you reach the bottom. And then here, it just turns off those things, and you're done. Honestly, it's a pretty once I figured it out, it was a pretty simple thing to do, but I thought it was pretty handy dandy. And after this, I will have the video just showing it without my talking. But yeah, that's it. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And yeah, I hope to see you at the next video. Bye-bye!